Today on Suncoast View, the Players Center's property is the site of a new bidding battle. What could happen for the arts scene if the city buys it out? We'll discuss.
Bedbugs are about the last thing you want to find in your home, but a group of heroic Suncoast dogs are here to help you sniff them out and clean up your bedroom.
It's almost Father's Day. We don't want to forget dear old Dad, and we've got some last-minute gift ideas with some of our favorite Suncoast shops. All that and more right now on Suncoast View.
And welcome to the show, and a big welcome back to Jeffrey Kim.
Oh my gosh, it's my first time here. I couldn't be happier. I'm a little nervous.
This week, your first time.
Will you help me get through the day,
I'll
show?
help you.
Okay,
You
thank
are-
I feel like you guys have an inappropriate relationship.
We do.
Yes, people will start to
That's
talk.
what I'm going to tell people. I'm going to say in a relationship on Facebook.
Let's do that and see what happens.
Yes, you already are in one. so
My
you
Brazilian
ruined my
husband will be
heart.
very upset with you.
I don't think so. I'm old enough to be his grandmother.
He might like it.
Maybe Linda has a Brazilian husband. How do we know?
How do we know?
Perfect. Yes.
That's true. They're good looking. I can say that.
Well,
Well, you are actually one of our, I don't want to say veteran, but one of our favorite recurring guest hosts.
I seriously love being here. It's like a little vacation for me to
That's
come here and
nice.
play with you guys. It is. It's fun.
Well, we're happy we got you because I know that this is a busy time right now. You just
Wow.
opened a new show last night at the Players Center.
We have a wonderful play called Beau Geste on our stage. We opened last night. It runs through the 25th. It's a really fun play about a Sarah, who's a nice Jewish girl, and she has a boyfriend who's not Jewish, and so she hires an actor to play her boyfriend so that she can introduce him to her parents. So it's kind of like you've heard the story in a couple different ways, but this is a very unique look. It's very funny, it's very cute, and standing ovations, and they do a really great job.
Did she get away with it?
She, you know what, she finally grows up, and she explains things to her parents, just like we do. You know, whenever you're lying or fibbing, you know what I mean? You have to, you realize when you make a mistake. But what happens is, everybody falls in love with the actor. Everyone falls in love with Bob, including her. And so she boots the real boyfriend and then falls in love with the actor. Bob.
But even though we know how it ends, you still have to see it.
You do have to see it. Was that a spoiler?
No,
No, because you may want to do this sometime, you know?
Linda,
You may
who
wanna
would you
pass it.
hire? I'm going to put you on the spot. Who would you hire? What actor would you hire to play your
Oh,
husband?
I'd just get checked.
Oh, I
We could
love
go
it.
in. Everybody would be so
Idris Elba.
impressed.
I knew that one. I called that one for Beau Geste.
Idris?
Elba.
Yes.
Next time my friends get together, I want you to come along.
I'll be there.
Say, this is my boyfriend.
Hello there.
Oh, they'll love it.
I'm Jeff.
I think we have to
Linda's
send a
boyfriend.
camera. That would be a wonderful field trip.
That's a D segment.
Yes, well, all right.
Yeah.
As this starts to unravel, I think we're going to check in and see. You might have a potential husband
We need to
option
save our
in the
show.
kitchen. We have
Right
the
here.
lovely and talented
Yes.
Chef
I think
Caleb
he's married.
from Jack Dusty. Caleb, what are we making today?
Good afternoon. In honor of Dad, we're going to prepare a coffee rub strip steak with Jack Dusty's famous house sauce.
Oh, that sounds good.
Coffee rub on steak. I've always heard about it. I've never tried it.
I could use a jolt.
Yes, well, we're excited to join you later
I
on.
can't wait to taste it.
Perfect for Father's Day.
Oh,
Dad's like
yes.
coffee, Dad's like steak. I
Yeah,
think
but
Dad's really just like
Moms
anything
like
that's already
steak
been
too.
made.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
not with coffee. Well, you like coffee with steak.
I would like coffee with steaks very
Or
much.
steak with coffee, whichever way it works.
Steak rubbed in coffee. This sounds good.
All right, well, speaking of Father's Day, we have a very special Makeover Madness this week. We're making over a father, which is nice. We normally make over beautiful women, but today we have the option to make over a great dad. So let's meet Stephen.
Hello there. I'm very happy to be here at the Cutting Loose Salon for the Father's Day edition of the Makeover. It all started with a glass of wine, and before I knew it, I was voluntold by my wife that I would be here today. So I'm really happy to be here and look forward to the opportunity.
I love it. So like most great ideas, it started with a glass of wine. And did he say voluntold?
That's what he said, voluntold. I didn't know that was a real...
told him.
I love that, and I think we're going to have to borrow that. Well, Stephen has a lot of great things to work with. Good-looking guy.
He's a good sport.
I was just going to say, yeah, there's a lot to start with right
Good
there.
hair.
So,
I think that's one of the challenges of making over a guy is that there's not much you can do, but
Yeah.
he's got a lot of
What are you
great things to
saying?
work with. You could part the other way.
Thank you. Yeah.
Extensions.
Don't make it about me. Extensions.
All right, well, we cannot wait to see how Stephen's
Stephen
makeover turns out. Well, it is time for our first hot topic, and it does hit close to home for our guest host today. The Players Center is making its big move to Lakewood Ranch, but the space that it leaves behind is now the object of everybody's interest. City administrators are looking to snatch up the theater's current 2-acre site since it offers one of the last unobstructed views of Sarasota's bayfront. Now, many say the space offers also a chance to connect downtown with the proposed Bayfront 2020 project, which will reportedly be made up of the Van Wezel, Sarasota Orchestra, and other arts organizations. Now, discussions have only just begun, but as the price of the Players Theater site has recently decreased, it might look like a tempting option for Sarasota officials. So, Jeff, obviously you've got a little skin in this game as the artistic director.
Yes.
Do you think, what could this effect have for the arts community in general?
Well, I must say that for us, having a buyer for our property will allow us to start building into the Lakewood Ranch area, which we hope to start doing next year. So having some money coming in besides the large donation we just got, which was really nice.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
$1 million donation.
We got the
It
first.
wasn't from me.
The first, yes, the
So,
Beth Yates Theater. Okay. No, but we feel that anything that would benefit us moving forward with our project is good. If a developer comes in and purchases our property, they're likely going to boot us out, even though we're not ready to have our theater up and running in Lakewood Ranch. So our thoughts are, wow, if the city would like it, then hopefully we would be able to rent back or work out an arrangement, because they would have no definite plans for it right away. So for the arts, it would actually keep us probably in the city longer. It would keep us running longer. We would still have an effect with the amount of income and money that we spend in the area for folks like the Starlight and area stuff. So
keeping a presence as
so
well.
for us, it's a win-win, and we don't mind the fact that maybe the city would look at it and sit on it for a while, and if they wanted to resell it and make a little money, that's okay too.
Speaking of that, I mean, it's a money game.
That's what I was going to say. You know, the capitalism side of me would say, hey, just because you're motivated to sell, don't sell. That's a beautiful property.
It is.
You want to get top dollar. I hate to say this, the city people are going to kill me, but it's a really nice property.
It is.
And if you hold it long enough, you actually could probably get good money
Well,
for it.
we're not going to give it away. I can guarantee you that, because it is our one asset, and that is for real. And we won't do that because it would end up undermining us in the future. So we are looking at it really strategically. Obviously, we're looking at all our offers. The good news is also, since we've gotten some press about the city being interested, there are developers that had looked at the property before at $12.5 million and thought, wow, that's way too high. And now they're kind of coming back to us and saying, well, here, let me crunch some numbers and let's see whether we might be able to make this deal, because they realize that that property is special.
Oh, yes.
And it is one of the last unobstructed views of the bay, and so it's a great piece of property, and we will not give it away.
Why
Well,
did
if
the
I
price
had
just go down? I don't get it.
Well, literally, we had people come to us, including our real estate agent, and they said, you know what, this is the feedback we're getting. If someone's saying you can build 18 stories and it costs this much per square foot and this is the building costs, they're saying that that property for them to purchase would probably be under $10 million. And so that's the pricing that we've been getting and the feedback we were getting. And so finally we said, you know what, as the board looked at it, they said, yes, let's go ahead and drop that price so that maybe what exactly is happening might happen. It might spark some interest.
Well, we're very excited. It's great options on the table, and we'll definitely keep an eye out and see how it plays
Thank
out.
you.
But
Oh,
good
it's so
luck.
important
The
to all of
Bayfront.
Sarasota.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, summer vacation may have started, but a group of Suncoast students discovered that all their hard work on their final exams, it might have to happen all over again. It was discovered by an AP testing group. If you've been out of school for a while, AP is Advanced Placement. They discovered that an AP literature class at Manatee High School had an unauthorized proctor in the classroom during testing. Now, the rules say that AP exams cannot be administered by anyone with any knowledge of the course or the subject. Well, the teacher in the room, it turns out, had taught AP literature in the past. Now, nearly 250 students might have to retake their exam in order to receive their college credit. Now, the students have been out of class. Some may actually be on summer vacations with their families. They'd have to come back in and retake the test. Is this fair?
Oh, it's not. And for me, if that was me, I wouldn't even be able to take the test because I studied just for that day.
And
after
retain
the
it just so
exam,
that-
But you're
after
not supposed
that
to do.
exam, I know you're not, but that's just how my brain
but
works.
it would mean you'd have to do it over
I would
again.
that means you have to start over from scratch
And
studying all
they're
that
not saying
stuff.
this person cheated. I mean, they're
Right.
saying that person was in the classroom but didn't say a word. So I don't think they had any influence at all on the test
I'm
results.
sure they didn't, but you know, rules are rules. If you're supposed to have a set amount of people in there, that person needs a set requirement, you have to follow them. And I feel like this is the district's fault because they know those rules. The students don't know. They're just studying and
Right.
going there that day.
So those district leaders should take that test. And
They need to do it. They need to
how
figure
hard
it
it
out.
really
I
is.
do feel bad for the kids because I know as a teenager, even as an adult, when I feel a release of I'm done with something,
Right.
especially as summer vacation comes, there is kind of a decompression
Yeah.
that happens
Right.
to me, and to have to go back in and perform again. It's like,
Right.
Jeffrey, if a show closed
Oh, yeah.
and then a week or two later
I
they
don't
call you
remember those
back
lines.
in to
Yeah.
do it.
Those lines are gone. But at the same point, you've got to always have a very clear level playing field. That is fair. So if there's any way that something is a little bit awkward when it comes to that playing field, you've got to adjust it. I mean,
I just feel bad for the kids because in the end, they're going to be the ones who are going to be
That's true.
facing the consequence if
I
they
hate
don't
to
test as
say
well.
this.
Well, guess what,
sounds
kids?
so-
Life ain't fair, and sometimes you got to do stuff over. So buck up, Buttercup.
You're so mean.
All right, Professor Ken is
Okay,
in the
sorry,
classroom
yeah,
now. All right, well, on a lighter note, the new comedy movie, Rough Night, it actually opens this weekend, but some of the cast is taking issue with people calling it a chick flick. Actress Scarlett Johansson says she doesn't like the idea of limiting the film by chick flick, as it doesn't give the comedians, the female comedians in the film, the credit that they deserve when compared to male comedians. She also wants to take away the stigma that raunchy, wild comedies are only for men, like the Hangover films. Ladies, let me ask you, girls' nights out, in my opinion, have been much crazier than any guys' nights out that I've gone on. Do you think that it's fair that we say that going out for a wild night of, partying or drinking is a man's territory?
I would like.
No one's fessing up to anything.
I was just going to say that I don't think that nights that you've been out are not wild. I was going to call you on that.
Well,
It's when I'm out with the girls.
Yeah.
that I
I mean,
bring
but I think most women want their significant other to think that it's not wild. So I don't necessarily agree with everyone thinking, oh, we have raunchy nights also. No, we have wholesome nights.
Wholesome.
Well, for example,
But
you have The Hangover, which was a male cast. It got very crazy in Vegas. People compared Bridesmaids. Oh, it's a female version. Bridesmaids was very tame compared. So are we not allowing women to go
depends
have
on what
these
you mean
crazy?
by tame. I thought it was.
She
I
took
thought
a-
it was really funny. Maybe we do different things. We laugh sometimes at different jokes at ourselves
Yeah.
in different situations. So, I mean, whoever wants to see it should see it. Neither label would bother me at all.
The label is the problem. She doesn't like the fact that she's calling it a chick flick.
But they're
because then-
chicks.
Men won't come.
But men won't. But that's not the case.
She just wants to sell to
See,
men.
She wants to sell some
what was
tickets,
the
yeah.
words that we learned earlier? Voluntold?
Yes.
Whoever the female that is going to voluntold their significant other to go see that movie. So don't worry, they will see it.
Well, for all the discussion, I hope it turns out to be a funny movie.
It better be-
frankly.
it better be
nobody will
good,
go
Because I don't want to be
Yeah.
disappointed. All right, well, some couples, they just cannot seem to want to get away from each other. They can't wait. And one Kansas man was so desperate to leave his wife, he robbed a bank. Unfortunately for him, it didn't go as planned, expecting to be put away from his wife. It was decided that he would be put under house arrest in her care.
So this is punishing her.
In an attempt to escape his wife, he ended up getting stuck with her. Now, it does turn out, this is nice, there is a happy ending, because it was discovered that he was not thinking straight when he made this move. Due to undiagnosed health issues, he had no criminal record to speak of, and it seems like the couple has made amends and is now working toward his rehabilitation in the comfort
I can
of
think
their
of
own
nothing worse than
home.
being stuck with that guy in my home for a long period of time.
Linda, you would likely give him a makeover. I think is what you would do.
I would call cutting loose immediately.
So question is, did he tell law enforcement, so why did you do this? Oh, I was trying to get away from
I
my
wanted to get away from my wife, and they just said,
We're gonna
fine.
change
And
you
they
to
said,
her.
sir, here, please go free.
I mean, I'll tell you, Scarlett Johansson, if you're looking for a funny movie,
That's
this is
hilarious.
That's a
perfect
movie.
fodder right here.
Yeah,
All right.
gosh.
Well, the lesson is love will bring you back together no matter what
Love
you
will
rob
keep-
or
love will
That's
keep us
probably what
together.
they have to say. That wife is probably going to torture him for the next 6 months or whatever he is on
Do
house
you
arrest
remember the
for.
time that you robbed that bank to get away from me?
He should have gone to the state pen. fun. I'm telling you, it might have been better. All right, well, it's fun to end on a happy note, but we're going to send you to watch the Happy Hour forecast. But when we come back, we have a Suncoast author that tells us all about his latest book.
Good afternoon. I'm Bob Harrigan with your Happy Hour forecast. We are looking at showers mainly inland this afternoon, looking pretty good from the Van Wezel webcam, which Friday Fest is getting on its way here shortly, and it looks like it'll be pretty good weather. For the most part, it's kind of warm with some sunshine around. Most of the showers, again, as I said, inland. You can look at the radar picture. You can see that with a westerly flow. It's all moving toward the east coast. You can see those big storms now approaching, looks like Cape Canaveral, stretching all the way down to Lake Okeechobee this afternoon. 1 or 2 lone showers out there in the Gulf of Mexico associated with a weak trough of low pressure. There's a possibility of a brief shower, but not much. The rain chance very small. There's some showers up near MacDill Air Force Base, but notice the rainfall today has been generally east of I-75, and this is looking out at Casey Key. 86 sunshine right now, and the dew point way up there at 74 with that west-southwest wind. And the pressures have been falling slightly. It's 29.93 inches. And we're going to have a complete update of the weekend weather and the tropical system coming up at 5. See you then.
Mystery novels are often loosely based on the author's real-life experiences. And that's the case for Sarasota author Stewart Stearns. We are so happy to have you here. You've written books about Guatemala.
Yes, it's great to see you guys, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Good to see you again.
Again, yes. For those that don't remember, for 20-some years, I was the CEO of the Community Foundation of Sarasota County. So I would often appear on shows like this, thanks to all of you. And when I had to retire, I did it because of health reasons. And after several back operations, sitting around going absolutely stir-crazy.
That's what I fear with retirement. But you did something very important.
Everybody had told me we had lived in Guatemala for a number of years, and every time I told people stories about that, they kept saying, do an autobiography. Autobiographies are wonderful. So I started to do an autobiography just to keep from going crazy, and it was terrible. It was awful.
Really feel?
Yeah.
And so I started messing around with it and adding some characters to fictionalize it a little bit. And then I've always loved mysteries, so I said, let's turn this thing into a mystery.
Wow. Nice.
And so, voila, there became the first book that I published. Goes by the title of Lorenzo's Rules, because every once in a while the main character, who is it's in Highland Guatemala, in western Guatemala, where most of the Mayan people live.
Yeah.
In fact, they're the majority of the population. And this is a leader within the Indian community.
Oh, wow.
And he gets dragged into this murder that happens with an anthropologist, which I was
You were the
off and on for 4 years. So I killed myself off.
That's the way to do it.
Are the others based on anybody you really knew, the other characters?
Absolutely. The Lorenzo character, as a matter of fact, who's the hero of both of these books, is based on actually 2 characters, but one character particularly who was a dear friend of mine who had been a leader just like this. And he loved these kind of sayings, call them dichos in Spanish, sayings that people say. And so every once in a while, I throw in my own philosophy. Some of the dichos are really Spanish dichos, and some of them are Stewart dichos.
That's the best way to write a book. Make it all up, right?
And your first one went so well, you wrote a second one.
So I did the first one, and the second one just called to me for some reason. So I started on it, and I actually finished it much quicker than I did the first one. And I have a third one.
Wow.
Goes along in the series. I have a third one that's
So
in
you're not
process.
stir crazy anymore.
So I'm not stir crazy.
So
My
you
wife
got
gets
to go
stir-crazy.
1, 2, 3. You've got to read them in order. Do you need to read them?
No, absolutely. I tried to write them so that if you could pick up either one. But there are hints in the second book about what happened in the first. And so those who have read the first one will find little clues in the second one of things that they've already read. and they
What
should
is
know
the
about.
mystery that
Yes.
we're looking for here? What's the mystery?
Well, the first one is about the ritual murder of a young anthropologist, a U.S. anthropologist.
Which was you.
Yes.
Well, yes. And his heart was torn out of his body
Oh, my
not
goodness.
in the Mayan ways. So what I've tried to do is, as an anthropologist, I know an awful lot about the Mayan culture. And in fact, we lived in 2 villages in Guatemala, cook with wood and all the things that you do.
So you're Mayan.
So we lived the life, and so we know how to do that. Plus, I had the opportunity of training with some of the Mayan shamans.
Wow.
So I know an awful lot about the culture that never gets told.
And a lot of that is in this book.
And you are giving the proceeds to Guatemala?
There's several charities that we've been in touch with for over the years who have done wonderful things. The human rights in Guatemala are not what they should be. And there's a couple of human rights organizations that are really wonderful, doing great work. They're based in the United States, but they do work down there. And we found another organization that there's a new film out called Finding Oscar. And the executive producer is Steven Spielberg.
Oh.
And as a matter of fact, goes along very much with my second book. Wow. I mean, it just fits right in. I didn't know that it was being done, but the organization that features is a group of forensic anthropologists who, I think there were 250,000 people that were killed in their civil conflict.
Wow. What a great thing for you to help. Well, you're going to be signing your book
I'll be
on
it.
June 22nd. Books, June 22nd at Bookstore One. One of our favorite places. So go down and say hello to Stewart.
Look forward to seeing all my friends who I haven't seen in a while.
Well,
because I've been
great to
unstuck
see you.
writing books.
Thank you so
Good
much.
for
We're
you.
glad you're entertained. Speaking of entertainment, we're going to hear the headliner from McCurdy's this weekend coming up next.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to save a life? Find out by donating platelets at Suncoast Blood Bank.
I'm Haley Wilgus, ABC7. Platelets aid in the clotting process and are vital in the treatment of cancer and surgical patients, trauma victims, and critically ill newborns. It's tough to keep enough on the shelves because they only last 5 days. To donate, call this number or visit scbb.org and you can help save a life.
ABC7 congratulates Suncoast Blood Bank on 65 years of serving our community.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
What's a nice Jewish girl to do when she can't introduce her WASP boyfriend to her conservative parents? Hire an actor. Hilarious and insightful, Beau Geste is at the Player Center June 14th through the 25th, and it's your ticket to a sizzling summer. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit theplayers.org. Don't miss Beau Geste.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
All right, we are checking in with today's Makeover Madness for Father's Day. This is Steven, and it looks like Vicky is going to be testing some different colors on his hair. We can't wait to see how the makeover turns out. We'll check in a little later on at the end of the show. Beau Geste?
All right, you're probably familiar with the Dalai Lama. Well, today, straight from the Las Vegas Strip, we want to welcome Tommy Lama. No relation. He is this weekend's McCurdy comedy headliner, and welcome. You really fit the part.
Lama stay.
All right, so that's not your real name, but, right? You're Tommy.
I was given this name by the great Maharashi Yamaha Suzuki Toyota while I was praying in the landfills of New Jersey, now known as Giant Stadium. when I went on my own when my mother abandoned me when I was 30.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to find myself, and thus so.
And this is what you found?
Don't. If I had my charm, I would do a cleansing right now.
Okay.
We could use
Because the air is.
We could use a little
There's a lot of
wisdom.
negative energy, but that's okay. That's okay because we all have our life cycles
Yes,
to
we
go
do.
through. I do past life readings. I do future readings. And I brought a deck of cards, animal spirit guides, right here.
Animal spirit. Okay.
Okay.
Can I pick
Now-
one?
Yes, you can. Now, I can read your past, present, and future if you have one.
Wait a minute.
hope you have all
She's
three.
got a
I think
pass.
she has the future.
Now, what animal spirit do you most sympathize with? If you had to pick one, any animal in the world.
Monkey.
Monkey. If you're a monkey, put your hand on the card. Okay. Pick a card. What'd you get?
A walrus.
Well, clearly you were wrong. So why don't you pick another card?
really a
That was
walrus.
bad.
How many choices did she get?
I don't
I'm gonna give it one more shot.
Shut
know.
the
No,
camera.
a mouse.
a mouse. That's not you either.
No.
That's not you?
That's not her. No, she is not a mouse.
Then I don't know what I'm doing. But this is the type of thing we'll delve in my workshop at McCurdy's.
Your workshop.
And clearly she's changed. She's more informed now.
How does your, if we come see you at McCurdy's, what do we expect? Do we get to ask you questions?
More
or do you
readings,
offer-
apparently.
It's, it's a self-help workshop, part-time timeshare, and Zumba class with some spinning. Yeah, it's all of that.
So
yeah.
you bring your own bike.
Bring your own bike,
Yeah.
helmet. Like if there's and there's a lot of things going on. I do a lot of feng shuiing.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Like if there's a married couple that I feel
Needs help.
they're not good together anymore, I'll switch them with another couple.
Oh, my.
I'm a miracle worker. It's incredible. I'm amazing.
So since you found yourself, I see that you have been helping other people then.
Yeah, of course I help other people because that is listen, I don't mean to show off, but I used to be an independent pest control technician.
Oh, but you didn't have a dog?
Well, you don't want me to talk about the dog because, I am a clairvoyant. I know the future segments.
We're going to be seeing it right after this. So what do you do to kind of relax? How do you maintain yourself?
Well, what I do is I bring other things to life. Like I'll take, let's say, a goldfish out of its tank, and then put it back in and bring it back to life.
I've never heard of that
I do
before.
incredible things. Incredible things.
Wow. You are hilarious.
I challenge myself. I've climbed the monkey gym in McDonald's. To the
Good
top.
job.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
reaching new heights.
New heights? Yeah, it's like Moco Puccio.
All right, well, the Tommy Lama, also known as Tommy Savage, will be at McCurdy's Comedy Theater through June 18th. Go to McCurdy's Comedy's website for tickets. And next, how can a dog detect bedbugs? We'll show you. We'll be right back.
The Tommy Lama knows.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate,
Or shop at Goodwill.
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
With a top prize of $10 million, the new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery is your ticket to take on the world.
If you get knocked down, stand up again. Rip it up again. Give me one chance, give me one chance. I'm gonna make it, make it. Give me my chance, this is my chance. I'm gonna take
The new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery. One of our life-changing scratch-offs offering billions in cash prizes.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
With Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-962-4112. That's 1-800-962-4112. Call now, 1-800-962-4112.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Keep up with your investments and market trends by watching the ABC7 Stock Report. Get a recap of all the day's stock market activity. Be sure to watch your Suncoast News at 6 for the ABC7 Stock Report, sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
And welcome back to Suncoast View. If you're just joining us, we are in the kitchen with Chef Caleb from Jack Dusty at the Ritz-Carlton. Caleb, we're making a coffee rubbed steak, but I see that you also brought some beer in honor of Father's Day.
That's right, in honor of Father's Day. And there's a lot of local breweries that we partner with and we offer in the restaurant. Today we brought a Motorworks brewery, a nice beer here to pair with that steak.
And is that, I think, is that an espresso stout?
It is. So it's a fun play to pair with our coffee rub strip steak.
That'll be perfect. Dad will never sleep again after this meal. well, we are very excited to join you. We can't wait to see you later on in the show. But first, we're going to check in with Beau Geste.
All right, we know many dogs have incredible sense of smells, especially those who used to be in law enforcement or medicine. But what about a canine that can sniff out the creepy, crawly bed bugs? A Suncoast company is using dogs to find bed bugs, and it's part of their detection process. And the owner, Michael Levine, is here. All right, Michael, so you brought your dog Roxy, and I understand you have another one that's we're going to be introduced to later.
Correct. Henry will be doing a demonstration for us later on.
All right, so demonstration. This is a little bit unique. Dogs, bed bugs.
Dogs and bugs. She's very calm. Roxy is, so we must not have bed bugs in the studio.
No.
To all of
Well,
us.
maybe she just got up, so maybe she found
She heard
something.
the words looking for.
What does she do
Yeah,
when
tell
she
us
sees
about
bed
her.
bugs?
Well, so we'll do the demo for them in a few minutes down there. We'll just exactly be able to show
Don't look at me, Roxy.
precisely what
I
they
do
do when they have.
She's
But
smelling
how do you
something.
train them? Let's start with the training.
So,
how does a dog know
okay,
to find them?
Very good. So they were trained actually here in Florida.
Okay.
I met someone who then became my boss through a friend in 2010, and he sent me down to Safety Harbor, Florida, here, where Henry was being trained at the facility. He was there for, I don't know, a few months. I don't know the exact time frame. And I flew down, and we both got certified and, trained. And then
bed bug detection.
In bed bug detection. Because he's been training dogs for 30 years for the police department, as you mentioned earlier, and mole dogs and termite dogs. There's a lot of dogs out there now being trained for different things.
Really? Okay.
Bed bugs has become very large in the last decade or so.
That was my next question. How big of an issue is this?
It's
Because-
growing.
Okay.
It's growing. It's getting worse and worse. It's getting bigger down here, which is one of the reasons why we moved here about a year ago. New York is definitely a problem. And, tri-state as well. We did a lot of jobs out there. We did probably over 5,500 inspections up there.
Wow. All right.
With Henry and Roxy. Sorry.
Well, are there certain areas in a house you target? I figure the bedroom, because that's where the bed is.
You would think that, believe it or not. It's always where you sleep. I don't know. I always tell this to everybody. It's an incorrect name, bed bugs. They used to be called traveling bugs. They travel with you. They stick onto a piece of clothes or something, and then they get, you go to a hotel, and then you, God forbid, bring one back home. So, and if you end up sleeping on your couch every night, they'll be couch bugs. They don't necessarily have to be. I've found them, unfortunately, in many different scary places.
Oh, no.
So they can be on wood. The only things they won't go on maybe is glass or you know, stuff like that. But they're usually
So
found
everything but glass bugs.
near us. Yeah, exactly. Everything but glass bugs. They should be called. Yes.
Can you see them?
Yeah, the problem is when you only have one or two. We're not talking about a problem case, okay? We're talking about a hotel that found one and is looking and they don't see any others. They need to call us because we'll come in and we'll be able to do that room and tell them if there's even one small one hiding or an egg, which is almost microscopic, nearly impossible to see.
That's a good question. So where in the process, obviously if I see a bed bug, I know I have them, so I wouldn't need the dog. Where else would you bring the dog into the process?
Well, first, it's not so obvious because you may have found one in one room and then you look the rest of the house and you don't know if you have any more and in what rooms they're in. So if you have a few rooms in the house or whatever, you have, you know, upstairs, downstairs. So we come in, I had this woman, she had a apartment upstairs where her son stayed and then she had 2 floors in her house. So she was worried about hers because her son had them. So we knew he had them, but we had to go to her place and check her house and she was good in almost all the rooms except one that her friend stayed in. So this is right. This is how it would start spreading. So for us to come in there with a dog, we can give you the areas now that have the issue. So then we can, in turn, send this over to the pest control guys, who, by the way, we target pest control companies. What that means is I'd rather work with a pest control guy because they utilize us as a tool in their belt, so to speak.
Okay.
Instead of sending a human down and getting only 30% accuracy today, they can send in the dogs and they get 99% accuracy for inspections. And then we in turn send that back over to them to treat.
I think this concept is so amazing, but how did you get into this? Because it doesn't seem like a regular business to just think
No,
of.
she can smell bugs.
It's a funny story, but in short, I mean, I met one of my mutual friends introduced me to my boss, and he goes like, you want to work for me? I said, what do you do? He said, I have a dog that finds bed bugs, and I laughed. And then he said, well, I'll send you to Florida, and he'll pay for the trip, and you bring a dog back. All I heard was Florida and a dog, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm in, And it was scary and weird, at first, and we were thrown right into the fire because he was like, okay, go check this place, and I was like,
well, speaking of the fire, we want to see how this whole thing works. So we want to throw your dog right in, and we want to see how it works.
So we'll take care of Roxy, and we'll get to meet your other coworker.
You got it.
I know, Linda.
It's exciting.
You might have something.
I think it's so cute.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's a cute dog.
So now we'll get to meet one of your other coworkers.
Yes. Well, yeah.
So
looks like
is that a uniform?
Introduce who you've got with you.
Well, this is Henry. Henry's my little baby because he was my first dog, and he's been with me through thick and thin. And sorry, do I have that good? Okay.
Great. So I see you've got a big.
Yeah,
it looks like a fair.
Okay, so
ride behind
what
you.
we have here, the reason why I put the pouch on is because this is where we keep the food. And what we have here is a little training wheel that we'll do at home every day just to keep him maintained and sharp and focused. In the wheel we have 6 arms. One of them will have dead bed bugs, one of them will have some carpet beetles, roaches, etc., some other things that you might find in a household. And what we'll want from Henry is basically for him to pass all the other ones and just keep reminding him to stop on the live bed bug one.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind stopping on the roaches, personally.
Yeah, can we teach them that too?
Henry, what's that, buddy? Henry, seek. Henry, what's that, buddy?
It's like Duck, Duck, Goose.
Henry, seek. Henry, come on, seek. Henry, what's that, buddy? Henry, seek. Henry.
Oh.
What? Show, yeah, good boy. Where? Show me. Good boy. Where? Yes, good boy. Yes, good job.
Henry even
Good job, buddy. Yeah. Good boy.
All right, well, you guys can get more information about bed bug K9 experts by going to their website. And next, helping out Jazz, we have some last-minute Father's Day gift ideas. We'll be right back.
That's amazing.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good afternoon, I'm Haley Wilkes. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. The escalating costs of maintaining a popular park in Venice, why some residents are now starting a petition over Wellfield Park's future. Plus a very ambitious eco goal, how the city of Sarasota plans to transition to 100% renewable energy sources by 2045. Now let's head over to Bob.
Right now, most of the energy with these storms well inland, pushing off toward the east right now with a little bit of a west-southwesterly wind component. Humidity's high, and the temperature is pretty warm up and down the Suncoast. You can see some spotty showers along the coastline there from MacDill Air Force Base southward down just to east of I-75 near Lakewood Ranch, and then places near Northport. Not much going on near the coast. It looks pretty good for Friday Fest tonight at the Van Wezel. Pretty warm, though. Details and all that coming up at 5. See you then.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Well, we're excited about our Florida Lottery Grouper Watch to Win contest, but unfortunately we were unable to broadcast the word of the day on Tuesday due to national breaking news. Well, good news. To make up for that lost day, we'll now be extending the contest until June 19th. Watch Suncoast View every weekday from 4 to 5 for the word of the day. Enter the word at mysuncoast.com. You can also find the entire contest rules on mysuncoast.com. Well, speaking of breaking news, we also lost one of our favorite Father's Day gift segments. So if you're still looking for something to get for Dad, Barbara Pugliese from Just Because Boutique on St. Armands had some great gift ideas. Let's take a look.
We're going to start with a golf theme over here. This is a really cute wine bottle holder, and he's called the Frustrated Golfer as he's cracking that club. Yeah, he's really cute, but you could also put an olive oil bottle in here or a barbecue. So if he doesn't drink wine, it's kind of a neat thing. And some golf tea towels are kind of cool too. And then I love these mugs. Has a little hammer or the wrench on that, which I think is really great for Dad, because some dads are handy. So I think
he doesn't have one either.
No,
that's hard to find for Dad.
Right, and some neat bottle openers. Because a lot of men like beer, and we have this great beer holder for the cap. So you do need to drink more beer.
Oh, so it says drink more beer, and then an opening for the beer cap.
Yeah.
So you can fill it all the way up.
You can fill it all up. Some people collect corks. A lot of men like to collect their beer caps. So,
like you said, it's homework.
It's homework. I've been busy on this.
Yeah, you'll give Dad a job. Dad, your job is to fill this.
Yeah. And it's cute. It's fun, and it's something that you can talk about, which I like too. And then we have the wood flask. #1 top gift for men right now are flasks, and especially the wood. So really trendy, which is nice. And then some men like to wear jewelry, and we have these great bracelets up front. And they have a Mariner's snap shackle on them. So it's really a great look. They're very handsome on. They come in leather and then in stainless too. So really kind of good looking men's gifts.
Very masculine.
And a variety.
And a variety. And what's great is everything's under $100. Made in the US, under $100, so not expensive either, which I like. And then we go to the flip-flop shop here in the middle. They have great sandals for men, sizes 6 to 15.
Wow.
And they believe your toes should be free. So, you know, really some fun things. They have these great great pair of Sanooks, which is like a shoe sandal. So the base.
These are Sanooks?
These are Sanooks. So the base is actually a sandal, and then the top has this hemp material on it. So really very cool. Machine washable. You can go surfing in them. So really very cool.
Neat.
And some great sandals here too, with some arches, really well made. Again, made in America.
Smooth, yes.
And a lot of these companies also give back, which I think is important too. So your purchase has a good.
And you know what I've learned too is that we take flip-flops and sandals for granted here because they're fairly easy to find. If you are sending presents up north or really to anywhere else, nobody else has access to this stuff like we do.
They don't, and they do such a great job on what's trending and what quality is out there. So really good.
Right.
And my favorite pair are the reefs down in front. So super comfortable, but the coolest part, Beth, you got to flip it over. And there's a bottle opener on the other end of it. So for that active man,
that's hysterical.
It's so cool. I was like, come on, everyone should be able to open their beer with their shoe.
And why not?
That is so funny.
And
that is
I
so
love
funny.
that.
You would never guess.
No, you wouldn't.
I think it's a great dad's gift.
And again, he doesn't have one of those.
No, most men don't have it, and then they don't need another item. It's all in one right there, which I think is really smart.
He'll never lose it.
No. And then we have the Ancient Olive Gourmet. They're new to St. Armand's, and it's a foodie store, which I love. It's a gourmet food tasting. They have wonderful olive oils and vinegars. That bacon jam is like to die for. And then they also, in front there, and then some really nice cured meats. So for the dad who really likes food, I think this is always a great gift.
Like food.
Most dads love to grill and to cook. And then they do some mixers too, like a Bloody Mary mix, also some whiskey mixers and tonics, which I think are really nice. And they're all artisan made in the U.S. So some really great products.
All right, great finds for the guy in your life for Father's Day or throughout the summer. Well, speaking of Father's Day, when we come back, we get to see the results of our Father's Day makeover with Cutting Loose.
I heard about the DeToly Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the DeToly Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday, and I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
With Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-962-4112. That's 1-800-962-4112. Call now, 1-800-962-4112.
Get ready for the most hair-raising event of the summer. Feld Entertainment and the Ringling Museum present international circus superstar Bello Knock in Incredibello, a gravity-defying, laughter-inducing, super stunt performance live in the historic Oslo Theater. Don't miss out on the must-see event of the summer, Incredibello, playing June 13th through July 29th. For tickets, visit ringling.org today.
For the last 18 years, Samanthas Friends has been assisting people along the Suncoast who have been challenged by catastrophic illnesses or affected by autism obtain a service canine. We need your help. Please show your support by attending our annual Celebrity Gala brunch and fundraiser. Call Sammy Lee at 941-448-8558 for more information.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Welcome back. It's time for our big Father's Day Makeover Reveal. This is Steven when he first got to cutting loose, and let's see what he looks like now. Come on down.
Come on out, Steven.
All right, look at you. Wow. Handsome fella.
Very nice. Look into the camera. What do you think?
You like it?
Well, I've seen better mug shots on the before picture, but
oh, look at that.
Oh, I have not seen it until now.
Oh, you like it though?
Very nice. Very
so
nice.
You're happy that you listened, you were voluntold?
Yes, I'm very happy. They did what they could with what little I have to work with.
Oh, no, don't say that.
Awesome.
All right,
Be
Vicki,
nice to
come on
yourself.
up and tell us what you guys actually did.
Stephen was a real trooper through the whole thing. It was a lot of fun. We just did a PM shines to give him some shine, accentuate his color because he has such great color.
Yeah, yeah.
And cleaned it up a little bit nice, gave him a George Clooney haircut.
Oh, that's who you look like.
Yeah.
So we like it, and you didn't have to worry about makeup, I take it.
We just took the shine down a little bit.
Well, he looks fantastic. Stephen, you look
Love
wonderful.
that hair.
Thank you very much.
You look really good. Happy Father's Day. And next, we're going to continue the Father's Day celebration. We're going to go into the kitchen for some steak, put some coffee on it. We'll be right back.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. The construction at the new diverging diamond interchange at University Parkway and I-75, when all those orange cones and traffic work will finally be completed. Taking a look at Suncoast Traffic Watch right now, there are no crashes in the area, but we're seeing I-75 is backed up in the northbound lanes right around Fruitville Road, which is pretty typical this time of day, but only for that small section. It clears up after that. And then south near Venice, traffic is also backed up on US 41. Let's get out live to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan, live at the Friday Fest at the Van Wezel. Bob?
We are live here at the Van Wezel getting ready for Friday Fest. It's going to be a good night. Nice breeze coming in off the bay right now. Temperatures on the warm side. No real significant rainfall around here. Most of it is inland now, and it should stay dry.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
The official salon of ABC 7.
If you are age 85 or younger, a final expense policy for seniors can pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. You don't need a medical exam, and you can have lifetime coverage. Your premiums won't increase, your benefits won't decrease, and the policy cannot be canceled. To receive free information about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network, call now.
Call 800-676-1339.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off
off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Coming up Monday on Suncoast View, we check in on our guide dog Wrigley's progress and see how Southeastern Guide Dogs needs your help to change lives. Net neutrality is all over the news, but what does it really mean for your life? We talk to an expert to explain both sides of this heated topic. Plus, Dr. Jenny gets us educated on testosterone, and Blue Mangrove joins us in the kitchen.
We are in the kitchen with Chef Caleb from Jack Dusty. We have a lot of work to do, and all these things smell delicious. How does it all go together to make food that I can eat?
Well, you know, maybe you want to borrow the car or get a little money out of Dad this Sunday.
Yeah. Really?
We're going to do a lot of special things for Father's Day at Jack Dusty. The first thing is we're going to keep him caffeinated with a coffee-rubbed strip steak.
That makes good
It's going to go with our house-made steak sauce. So, Linda, if I could ask you to prepare our rub. We have a little bit of coffee, a little bit of black pepper, some ground mustard, as well as paprika. Yeah, maybe
and this is coffee?
It smells
so
good. Yes, it is. And you can use any coffee, a caffeinated, decaffeinated coffee.
Paprika.
Paprika.
Absolutely. And then if you just give that a quick stir, we'll get that. We'll put it right here. We'll get our steaks going. In the meantime, we can actually put a little bit of just olive oil in our pan.
That's a little bit.
This looks complicated, but it's not, right?
It's really not. And actually, I'm going to start with a little bit of onions for our steak sauce. Kind of get that cooking there.
I have a quick question. You mentioned you can use any kind of coffee. Is there a benefit to buying more expensive coffee, or is it one of those things you can kind of get away with?
For this purpose, not necessarily. Okay. You can really kind of use any kind of coffee you have around the house. We use Joffrey's out of Tampa. It's a really nice quality coffee we offer in our restaurant. Thank you so much, Linda. So we'll take one of our beautiful steaks here, our New York strip steaks. Really nice, nice tender cut. And just kind of liberally coat that. Now, salt's already in this, right? So we don't want to add any additional salt to that.
Okay.
And we're just going to let that sear. We want to sear in that nice crust. In the meantime, we have our steak sauce cooking here. We're going to cook these onions till they're translucent, and you can, kind of see through them.
Well, you told me there are like 27 different ingredients.
There's a lot of ingredients in this. And
don't try this at home.
Well, you certainly could. But
go to Jack Dusty.
Dad's a complex guy, so we have to add all these different ingredients. So when this is translucent, we would start adding these ingredients.
Yes.
In no particular order, if you'd like to start helping me add these. We can start. I got a little ketchup here.
Oh, that smells really good.
That's a little liquid smoke.
Yep.
We're going to add a little bit of chili powder.
Right.
Can you buy liquid smoke anywhere?
You absolutely can.
Okay, so this is our little thing.
And it's a nice little kind of cheat thing that you can have opposed to smoking.
We like that.
This is as close to cooking as
you'll
you'll
ever
mustard.
No, I think it's okay. We're still getting the nice crust there.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a little bit of lemon juice.
Am I pouring all of this in?
All of it.
Really?
Pour all of it.
Okay,
this way we have steak sauce lasts us
sugar.
Dad deserves
for
it,
weeks.
Jeffrey.
Is that true?
Well,
Don't skimp on Dad.
What's great about this sauce is you can use it on anything, a sandwich, anything. You can put it on your meatloaf, whatever you'd like. This is a really great sauce that we have here. So I'm going to give that a flip.
Oh, wow,
you can see that nice
good.
crust is kind of baked in there.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and place it in the oven here.
Okay, so we're only cooking it halfway just to get that crust.
We're going to get that crust, but then we're going to finish it in the oven.
And the Magic Cup TV, we already got one that's coming out.
It's warm here, so we do have
this work for nothing?
No, you that's going to go to good use, I promise you.
Okay, gosh, because I'm doing my best.
Good job. Now this is going to simmer for about 30 minutes, believe it or not, and it's going to get really nice and thick. We're going to blend it in with an immersion blender or something, maybe a stand blender we have, and then we will take one of our beautiful steaks out here.
And then where does the beer come in?
Well, wait, I have a question. Cutting steak is when I get nervous about cutting it the wrong way, against the grain, with the grain.
Yeah,
Can you show us some tips?
You know, if you're eating it at home, obviously there's no wrong way to do it, right? But we like to cut.
You didn't grow up in my family.
See, at an angle, Joey.
Oh, how do you do
nice
that?
angle here. And it kind of makes for a nice presentation.
Against the grain? There is
Here we are.
And you know we don't like our stuff rare, so you overdid it for us. I love this. No,
I like
did.
a nice mid-rare medium. I know that we don't have a lot of rare eaters here, so I always bring lunch, you know. But we're going to take that, and we're serving it with a little bit of our steak sauce here. So we're going to place just our nice steak there. And I like to serve it with a little bit of vegetable, right? A little bit of bite to it. So we're going to take a little bit of olive oil.
Good for Dad's heart.
That's right. We got to think about Dad's health.
Even the placement looks nice. See,
Yes, it does.
they know what
a little bit of sea salt.
doing it.
A little bit of sea salt, and we'll serve it with a nice green salad.
That looks delicious. Now, you had mentioned earlier, and Jeffrey asked about the beer. I know Jack Dusty carries a lot of local craft beers, which is great, and you brought us the Midnight Espresso from Motorworks. So it seems like a perfect,
I like the name.
tip for Dad. So I'm going to crack one open and start passing them down.
Thanks, Joey.
You
And
know,
I
it's
just want to
Friday.
make sure, so the sauce we were making is what's this in here?
That's correct. We've cooked it about 30 minutes. We've cooled it down, blended it, added the horseradish, and you have this nice, beautiful
It
steak
looks
sauce
and smells
here.
delicious. We can't wait to dive in, and we're excited for Dad. Now, a great recipe you can try at home, and if you'd rather just go enjoy the meal with
Seriously.
Dad, they can always make reservations at Jack Dusty at the Ritz. Thank you, Chef Caleb. Jeffrey, thank you.
My pleasure.
Always
Love
great
being
to
here
have
with you all, always.
Hopefully, I'll get this beer to you before the end of the show. We just want to tell you, pass that on down. Take some time, enjoy the Suncoast view. We're going to dig in.